Welcome to the Full Tracy Money Audio Commentary. This is Owen Tracy recording. It's 2:47 p.m. that is Central Time, and today is April 25th. And it is Friday, so it's the big picture, long-term audio and video for the various different asset classes. I've been thinking about the long term, and then let's think about how do people interpret what's going to happen next. I think a lot of it has to do with the frame of reference that you begin with. So some people will think about debt. And I think that right now the debt picture is urgent. So it's the most relevant way to look at the potential future outcomes. Other people will look at energy because the entire world is based upon the consumption of energy. And it is universal in every country, but only a small number of countries get to benefit from having an excess of energy. Everyone else has to import it. So that creates the tapestry of international relationships. But energy at present is not urgent, although it could be. Then other people will look at gold. They will say, well, gold is real money. It's limited supply. It cannot be simply issued by fiat. You can't just promise gold and suddenly create it. So therefore it holds its value, particularly when you have a negative real interest rate environment and when you have the efforts of governments to try and get out from under the yoke of debt. They try to abuse the currency, and then the value of gold appreciates relative to the depreciation in the purchasing power of the currencies. And that, of course, also is a way of thinking about how the standards of governance are going in terms of fiscal governance from the perspective of various different governments. So when we think about these three ways of looking at the market, then of course there is another, which is that you have the value of currencies and gold being a currency. So that's also another way of thinking about the relative competitive advantage of one country over another, or one economy versus another. And then lastly, you'll have the perception of the evolution of human endeavor through technological innovation. And that, of course, is another way of framing reference in terms of what we think about in terms of the future. And when we start to then look at all of these various different ways of thinking about how to frame the argument around the long term and the condition of the world as we see it, then we have to also be well aware of the fact that none of those arguments or ways of thinking is independent from the other.